Love it or hate it, it happens every year. Just about as soon as the calendars turn over, love is in the air and the shopping centers. Throughout January and early February, you can't turn around without seeing boxes of candy, teddy bears holding lace-trimmed hearts, cards of all sizes and sentiments, decor to spread the love around every corner of your house, and attire so you can wear your heart on your sleeve. Some couples really go all out, getting a table for two at a white tablecloth restaurant. Well, at least they used to be able to, and undoubtedly picking out the perfect last-minute Valentine's Day gift to show their devotion. Others might prefer to go low-key or ignore the holiday altogether. And kids aren't immune to Valentine fever either. Don't we all remember making those little Valentine boxes for our desks at school and picking out the perfect kids' Valentine's Day cards to send to each of our classmates? But as commercial as it seems these days, Valentine's Day has a long and storied history that doesn't revolve around the card company's bottom line. The history of Valentine's Day actually finds its roots in ancient Rome and Victorian England, and it's not so rosy as you might want to believe. We don't really know which Saint Valentine the holiday technically celebrates, according to History.com. The Catholic Church has records of at least 3 different martyrs named Valentine or Valentinus. One of them, a priest in 3rd century Rome, defied the Emperor Claudius when he decided to outlaw marriage for young men. Valentine continued performing marriage ceremonies for the lovers in secret, and Claudius had him killed for it when he found out. Another Valentine supposedly helped Christians escape from prison, and he was also martyred for it. Yet another one is said to have sent the first Valentine letter from prison, allegedly to the jailer's daughter. Legend has it he signed the note, "From your Valentine," a greeting we still use today. Whichever saint the holiday memorializes, we generally agree he was kind, heroic, and most importantly, very much pro-love. Much like Christmas, Easter, and other Christian holidays, we may have first begun celebrating Valentine's Day in February in an effort to draw attention from a pagan holiday set at the same time. In this case, that's Lupercalia, a fertility festival dedicated to Faunus, the Roman god of agriculture, as well as Romulus and Remus, the founders of Rome. During the festival, Roman priests visited the cave where Romulus and Remus were said to have been raised by a she-wolf and sacrificed a goat for fertility and a dog for purification, according to Encyclopedia Britannica. They then dipped the hide in the blood and went around town smacking women and crop fieldings with it to encourage fertility in the new year. Women also placed strips of paper with their names in a giant urn as part of a celebration. Eligible bachelors drew names out of the urn, and those they chose would become their partner for the year. Many of those matches ended up married. At the end of the 5th century, the Pope declared the holiday un-Christian and replaced it with St. Valentine's Day instead. Like many Christian feast days, Valentine's didn't become associated with secular practices until later. In the Middle Ages, people thought the feast day also symbolized the beginning of birds' mating season, and so they began to associate it with a becoming, as Bambi so charmingly called it, twitter-patted. English poet Geoffrey Chaucer recorded the day as a romantic celebration for the first time in his 1375 poem, Parliament of Fowls. According to Poetry in Translation, he wrote, "For this was sent on St. Valentine's Day, when every fowleth cometh to choose their mate." And from the beginning, people took issue with how Valentine's Day was celebrated. People love the idea that there were these wonderful eras before our own time when people celebrated Valentine's Day in the most authentic ways. Elizabeth Nelson, a 19th century pop culture expert who wrote the book on marketing the holiday, told the University of Nevada, "But there was always this long and complicated history about Valentine's Day, and people actually thought that it was too commercial and insincere from the very beginning." While people did share Valentine's Day greetings with one another as early as the Middle Ages, written notes weren't as popular. Probably because the literacy rate wasn't high either. The oldest known Valentine that still exists today was a poem written in 1415 by Charles, Duke of Orleans, to his wife while he was imprisoned in the Tower of London, following his capture at the Battle of Agincourt. People who need some throwback love letter advice can still view it at the British Library in London. Exchanging cards between lovers, family members, and friends didn't become widely popular until the 18th century. In the 1900s, improvements in printing technology made exchanging cards even easier and a little less personal. With the advent of pre-printed cards, postage got more affordable around the time too, which also contributed. At that time, Nelson says, cards were often a little off-color, frequently including sexual innuendos that might even make a grandma blush today. Today, Valentine's Day is celebrated in Canada, Mexico, the United Kingdom, France, Australia, and the United States. Although it's most common in the UK and the US, Americans likely began exchanging handmade cards in the early 1700s. But a woman named Esther Howland really changed the game in 1840 when she began selling the first mass-produced cards in the country. Known as the Mother of the Valentine, she created elaborate pieces of art that had real lace, ribbons, and colorful pictures known as scrap. We've got Howland to thank for the explosion of cards' popularity ever since. Today, according to the Greeting Card Association, we send an estimated 145 million Valentine's Day cards out every year, not counting the ones kids pass out in their classrooms. Women purchase approximately 85% of all the Valentines. So when you lick your stamps this year, know you're participating in an age-old tradition and not just a commercial one. The Valentine's Day we know today. Valentine's Day grew in popularity in England in the 1700s when people started sending cards and flowers to their loved ones, a tradition that continues today. These cards would be sent anonymously, simply signed, Your Valentine. The first commercially printed Valentine card was produced in 1913 by Hallmark, known as Hall Brothers at the time. By 1915, the company made all their money from printing and selling Valentine's Day cards and Christmas cards. Today, more than 150 million Valentine's Day cards are sold each year, although I did say 145 just a minute ago. It is the second busiest greeting card period of the year behind Christmas. And that said, happy Valentine's Day.